I think manifestation in the West is an absolute insane concept. And honestly, it drove me to madness within my own life. So I thought, why not share my story and then give a little bit of info about what's happened since and what my journey is with manifestation. Today's thought from my book is Embarking on a Journey Through Illusion, the Paradox of Manifestation. My journey into the realm of manifestation began with an exploration of a simple yet profound concept: the power of thought to create reality. This idea, which I encountered in transformative books like The Secret and Think and Grow Rich, Think and Grow Rich, suggested that a life I dreamt of, fitness, wealth, success, was merely a thought away. It was a seductive notion, one that promised that all my desires were within reach if only I adhered to certain mental practices. This newfound ideology didn't just change my perspective, it revolutionized my entire digital experience, which maybe you've seen. YouTube algorithms, sensing my shift in interest, flooded my feed with stories of individuals who, through the power of manifesting, had sculpted their dream lives. I immersed myself in the teachings of people like Neville Goddard and Joe Dispenza, dissecting hours of content in search of the formula that would unlock my desired reality. The first major test of my commitment to the belief came in the form of a webinar. The host, an author whose work I had recently delved into, offered a roadmap to financial freedom for a staggering 25K. It was discounted to 16,000 for immediate decision makers, and although the offer was tempting, I declined. Like, what was I looking like spending 16,000? The very next day, though, I received a call with a new proposition. The same path to freedom, only this time it's 20K. I couldn't get the same deal, but hey, I'm still getting 20% off. But this was my last chance. The salesperson's piercing questions about my fiance's beliefs in me and my beliefs about myself led to a spontaneous decision. I increased my credit limit. I purchased the program. You fast forward 2 years, and the landscape of my life had drastically changed. I was now 60K in debt, having poured all of my resources into additional coaching, programs, and seminars. Yet despite my unwavering commitment and financial sacrifices, my mentors had vanished, leaving me stranded in a sea of unanswered calls and broken promises. In a moment of despair, I found myself gazing into the sky, pondering the path that had led me here. I had believed fervently. I invested every dime I had, yet here I was, burdened with maxed out credit cards and devoid of guidance. During this period of suffering, my reading material shifted just subtly, but significantly. Titles like The Four Agreements, Man's Search for Meaning, As a Man Thinketh, The Courage to Be Disliked, and The Power of Now offered me completely new perspectives. They prompted a critical, unasked question. If this world is an illusion, why was I so desperate to acquire wealth and social acceptance? Was I still mistakenly seeking peace outside myself? Had my trust in these mentors inadvertently led me to equate the acquisition of wealth with the attainment of freedom? The answer was simpler and more profound than I had ever imagined. My lifelong quest had been a search for peace, yet I had been misled into believing that peace was a commodity, attainable through the materialization of personal desires. This journey, albeit painful, served as a humbling reminder that peace was always within me, not in the external achievements I had been chasing. This epiphany led to a revolutionary understanding of manifestation. Perhaps its true essence was not about materializing things, but about fostering states of being: peace, joy, happiness, gratitude, and thankfulness. What if these were the true treasures that could be manifested at any moment? What if visualizing a state of peace was the prerequisite to experiencing it? This contemplation brings forth a crucial realization. By focusing our minds on peace and internal contentment, perhaps the external world aligns itself in mysterious, harmonious ways. As I reflected on individuals in dire circumstances yearning for basic needs like freedom or clean water, I wondered, why can't they manifest their desires due to a lack of intense wanting or visualization? Like, what are they missing? The journey through the labyrinth of my manifestations thus reveals a more profound truth. Perhaps manifestation is less about attracting specific outcomes and more about cultivating a mindset that embraces peace, joy, and gratitude. By shifting our focus to these internal states, we might find that life unfolds exactly as it's meant to, gracefully and effortlessly. In this realization, I discovered that the true power of manifestation lies not in bending the external world to our will, but in transforming our internal world. a world where peace and contentment reign supreme. Now, it's a little tough for me to read this one today, honestly, thinking back on my life and just how emotional all of this was. I cried a lot of tears when everything fell apart, and there weren't many people who immediately answered my calls. And I'm not mad at anyone per se because, that's the easy process to say that people tried to fool me or do whatever. I think people only see what they believe, right? So if you have had the things that you wanted in your life and you believe it came through manifestation and you believe that you can teach other people that process, if someone isn't able to do the same thing, your argument is they must not want it bad enough. And the truth is, I judged in that way. I judged all the people who dropped out, said they didn't have enough money, said that they just couldn't do it anymore, said that it didn't work. I was the one judging them before I ever began to judge myself and feel bad towards myself about the fact that I wasn't able to manifest the life of my dream. And in the last 2 years, the amount of peace that I felt is hard to describe, despite the fact that things have not necessarily worked out the way that I thought they would. Life has constantly thrown wrenches into my expectations and attachments. And it's a constant reminder that I have to choose peace in each of these moments because life is giving you exactly what you want and need. You see, like for me personally, I'm not speaking this to anyone else. For my life, what I believe is whatever I need is what is actually going to come into my life. I always will maintain this state of peace. I will always work to be happy and joyful for the things that have happened to me. And as life gives me lemons, sometimes I make lemonade with it. Sometimes I just chuck it back. But I just try to be grateful for every single moment, no matter the moment. Because if life was supposed to be another way, wouldn't it have been? I mean, that's just how I see it. I think for your own life, if you don't feel that way, I think that's completely fine. I completely understand why you would feel that way. But for me personally, I feel like it's exactly what it's supposed to be. I don't know what manifestation is per se. I don't know if it's supposed to bring in the physical things. All I know is that the only power I believe I have is the choice of my state in any moment. And maybe because we're such a materialistic society, it immediately started focusing on all of the things that are out there in the world because, of course, that would bring us peace, right? Money, relationships, family, you know, the tribe that you always dreamed of. But what if that's not in your bingo cards? What if that's not in the 2024 bingo cards? I really only have one goal in every new year. At this point, it's to maintain my state of peace no matter what. I work towards the overarching goals that I've set for my life every day. So nothing changed come 2024. But at the beginning of 2024, I did remind myself, peace is always my choice. I don't know if anything else matters. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is helpful for you. And I love you. Until next time, peace. And make sure to follow, like, and subscribe.